Hello everyone, welcome to Sgt-Maj Smoke. My channel is about barbecue, food, cooking, and of course, eating. I'm not a professional, just a regular guy with a passion for food and cooking. For those that are new to my channel, if you enjoy the content, please like and subscribe, and make sure to hit that notification bell to get notified every time I drop a new video. As for those returning, thank you, and it's good to see you back again. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below, as I will read and respond to them all. And now, for today's episode. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Sgt-Maj Smoke, episode 031, a Q&A with Sgt-Maj Smoke. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Sgt-Maj Smoke. I know it's been a while. It's great to be back. I'm thankful to be back. I thought the best way to get back into it, besides my little tidbits here and there that I've been uploading, is do a Q&A session, because I do get asked a lot of questions by friends, family, people on YouTube, and I think that's awesome. I love barbecue. I'm not a pro. I don't know everything. I learn all the time. I make mistakes all the time, but that's part of the fun of cooking, right? To learn it, to experience, have fun, experiment. It's food. Food's meant to be enjoyed, especially after the last year and a half we've had. We lose some enjoyment, the camaraderie. Good food's meant to be shared with your friends and family, right? That's one reason why I started the channel. First off, where did I get my cool sweater? Hopefully you can see it. I love my barbecue. Big shout out to Darian. Thank you very much for the gift. Much appreciated. I got a piece of paper to help me remember, because that's the way my brain works. Okay, so again, I'm going back to questions. I love researching stuff, especially when it comes to barbecue and cooking. I talk to a lot of people, because you can always, like I said, you can always learn. So ask me a question. Please ask me questions. I don't mind at all. In fact, I enjoy it, and it helps with my brain, thinking and getting that barbecue mindset. So it's a good thing to me, for me, and hopefully you out there in YouTube land, hopefully you're a subscriber, and if not, give me a like and thumbs up to subscribe, but hopefully you're getting something out of it too, right? This is what the regular person does. So I'll start off with, I'm not a pro, but I love to do it. It's a passion I have, and I think I'm going to keep doing it. And as long as I keep having fun with the YouTube channel, I'm going to keep doing it. So why did I stop? Well, I moved, my computer crashed, there goes all my data. I actually just managed to get it back last week, so that's a good thing. And I had a tragedy in the family. I'll probably touch on more of that next week, or the next video. Okay? Some of the questions I do get asked, because it's a valid question. Do you use water or don't use water when you're cooking? If I'm smoking or using charcoal, I always have my tub of water. There's a lot of good channels out there which will say you should or you shouldn't. One channel, the Mad Scientist Barbecue, he talks about the science of barbecue. Check it out. I like to use water. I feel that it helps my meat keep a little bit moisture in the air, not so dry. A good way to control heat. Yeah, it's not for everybody, but it's something I like. The easiest thing to cook. I get asked that a lot. Whatever's easy for you. If I was to recommend something to someone that's just starting out, I would say go for a pulled pork. The two things I really like to cook are a pulled pork and a brisket. I love doing a brisket. It's so much work, but the payoff is incredible. But I love doing pulled pork too. I love eating it. I love experimenting with it. Different flavor profiles, different woods, different injections, different rubs. Like, there's so much you can do. Excuse me. My recommendation, if someone was to ask me, would be do a pulled pork, because it's pretty user friendly. Something I do that something I used to do, and I mentioned this before in some videos, I used to cook for time. Like, this should take me X amount of hours, or half an hour, or 3 hours, or whatever. And I stopped doing that when I realized that temperature is key. Understand your temperatures, i.e. poultry. Poultry needs to be 165 degrees Fahrenheit. I'll convert it up top, right? That's the minimum safe temperature. So if you cook it to that, the chances of you overcooking it, drying your meat out, are slimmer, and you have a better product. I also like to use multiple probes, especially with a bigger cut of meat. That way you're getting it from all angles, because as you know, you have different heat zones on your barbecue. This could be hotter on one side, cool on the other side, so it's not cooking evenly. There could be more flare-ups in the one corner, not this corner. So this side's burning, cooking, this side not so much. So you got to learn your piece of equipment, whatever it is. Gas, propane barbecue, charcoal, wood, a smoker, whether it be electric, propane, a pellet, whatever you have, you got to learn your equipment, and that's where you got to experiment. You got to play with food, but cook the temperature. That's one of the big thing I recommend is cook the temperature. This is the temperature you want your product to be. If you're a well done steak person, well then you need this. If you're a medium, then maybe 145, right? Fahrenheit. So understand the temperatures of the meat that you want, and then cook towards that. That's something I would invest money in. Is a good thermometer. I've been through a few of them. I have a nice one hooked up to my phone. Right, it gives me them all. I can do 6 probes. I've shown it on several videos. I also have a stick probe that I use as well, because especially with poultry, I'm paranoid. I want to make sure it's cooked right. In case there's something wrong, I'll double check it. But that's my recommendation, is cook the temperature. For what gear you buy, whatever you want. I started off with just a normal gas barbecue, propane barbecue like everybody else used to have, or most people had. As a kid, there was charcoal, and I got away from that. And now I'm back into it again. The cycle continues. I love the flavor profile of charcoal, different types of charcoal, lump versus clump versus briquettes versus whatever. There's all kinds of things out there. You gotta find what works for you. What's easy for you. It's no sense buying the Mercedes-Benz if it's too complicated for you. Buy the little Chevette. They don't make them anymore, but you know my reference. Something that you can easily use. Then maybe work your way up. Because you don't want to spend all this money. You can spend a lot of money in your barbecue equipment and not use it. So my first smoker was electric smoker. I think it was a master build. It was fantastic. I did a lot. I loved it. You still had to maintain temperature. As soon as you open that big door, boom, what does it do? All your heat dissipates. So you got to bring it back up again. My smoker was cheap. At least if I had a glass door, I could have the visualization of my product. But in this case I didn't. I got a cheap one. I have a tendency of starting cheap and working my way up from there. I got a little charcoal barbecue. It was actually for nothing. And I started, again, experimenting with that, going, I really like this. So I'm more and more into that. I did a cook today, all around roast. I may put a little video clips up on that as well. I like the offset smoker. I think it's very user friendly. I like the fact you have the cooking chamber and then the firebox. Right? Doesn't mean that flames won't come through. My current smoker, I did a whole hog. You saw some pictures of it. I didn't film that one, but there's a few pictures. I think in my intro there's one, at least one anyway. It was a fantastic cook. Lots of flare up. Pig grease. Right? These are things you need to be conscious of. I had another question, actually, a little sidebar, about a drip tray. Right? You don't want stuff to catch on fire, especially with wood or charcoal, sparks, ashes. So be very conscious of your surroundings when you are cooking. Right? Make sure it's safe to do so. You can always have a bucket, fire extinguisher close by, because you never know. You do get flare-ups. But remember the triangle, right? The heat triangle, fuel source, and oxygen, and something to combust. Well, if you cut off that air source, hopefully that will reduce some of your flare-up, if you had an issue. But again, learn your experiment. Don't have too big of a fire for what you're cooking. Right? If you're cooking a burger, and I hate that because I hate the waste products. A lot of times if I do have too much, I can cook, another whole complete supper with leftover coals, then I'll cook another meal. Learn your equipment, temperature has such a huge impact on cooking and the environment. Like today was this super pouring rain, and that did have an effect. When I did that hog, it took 12, 14, 15 hours to cook it. It was a late night, and it was really, really cold, dead of winter. Definitely had an impact on my heat. As soon as, like I said earlier on, once you open that door, you're letting that heat out. What's my barbecue style? I'm OB style. I cook what I want. We don't have the geographical identities as the states do. You know, Tennessee, Texas, North Carolina, you know, they have their identity when it comes to barbecue. I don't think really we here in Canada do. Maybe we do. Nothing that I can actually pinpoint enough. But I do my style. I experiment. I change things up. I change rubs. I change what I'm injecting the meat with. Change how I'm cooking it. I experiment. Have fun. My preferred method of barbecue, I like cooking over an open fire. Again, it's a challenge. I enjoy it. And with that, I like charcoal and wood, you know, in my smoker. Not necessarily smoking. I could also barbecue it, but I enjoy that. I use my gas barbecue all the time. I have several. I use them all for different things. Something I love a lot is my griddle. I had a Blackstone at one time, which was a complete double griddle. My Master Chef, the single griddle, it's fantastic. You can cook anything on it. That would be the propane one that I would recommend. Is having something that either has a griddle or go out and buy one of those cast iron griddles. A bit more messier, but you know, cook your breakfast. I love cooking breakfast on a barbecue. I love it. One of my favorite things I cook. Just to eat, not to film. I put a few little video clips on, but just because I like it. So I'm asking my viewership and the audience, and friends and family, if there's something you'd like to see on the channel, something you'd like me to do, please leave a comment, message me, whatever. Let me know, and I'll try to accommodate it. And again, ask the questions. Ask questions. It's not a bother. I enjoy it. And I say, if I need to research something, I do that as well. You know, if I don't know the answer, I'll tell you I don't know, and I'll maybe try to point you in the right direction, or I'll just give you my opinion, or maybe I'll look for the answer. But talk about barbecue, I can talk about barbecue all day, every day. It's my passion, right? It really is. No, I don't make any money off of this YouTube channel. There's lots of videos. There's lots of videos on funding. I'm nowhere near that. You need so many views and so many subscribers, and I'm nowhere near any of those numbers. There's a lot of good information on YouTube about that because I was asked. I don't make anything at all. I didn't start the channel for that. I started the channel because I had some time on my hands. This is the last year and a half. I have a passion about barbecue, and eventually I want to do a barbecue food truck. So why not just take the plunge and start the channel? What's it going to hurt? If I can teach someone or show someone something, that's awesome. And I'm also learning. I'm learning every time I barbecue, every time I cook, I learn something. You know, it's a never-ending process. So that's why I started it. I started it because I enjoy it, and when I stop enjoying it, I'll probably stop the channel. But for now, I like it. I want to continue it. Any questions, please ask. The like and subscribe, especially those that watch a lot of YouTube, people always talk about that. YouTube has their algorithms. There's, in the background of a YouTube channel, YouTubers have a YouTube Studio, and it gives you all the analytics behind it. How many views, how long did they watch it for? You can pinpoint where did people turn off from watching. So there's a lot of data that the creators can see, which would obviously, hopefully help their channel. But the liking, subscribing, commenting, it does help put it in the algorithm for YouTube to get it out there. My most prominent video was a short clip. I had like 1,300 plus views on it. I don't know why. I was going to barbecue it raining, so I just said, oh, look, it's raining out. I don't remember the video number, but if you go through, you'll see it. It's like, wow. because it just got caught in that algorithm stream, and obviously YouTube pushed it for that short period of time. So please like and subscribe. It helps the channel, get it out there for broader audience. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Q&A Volume 1. I'll put Volume 2 out probably in a few months. Until next time, keep barbecuing. Sgt-Maj Smoke, out.